back to another week of Behind the Bison. I'm Chris Hansen along with voice of the Bison, Jeff Culhane, and Behind the Bison brought to you by West Fargo Events, online at westfargoevents.com. All right, the only streak we need to talk about now is the one that starts hopefully this weekend.
Oh, man.
Every long streak, no matter how long it is, has to start with the first, and maybe we get that started at Missouri State again this weekend, Jeff.
You know, Hans, this week has been about Matt Entz and his football team getting back to being Bison. You talk about Behind the Bison. I think that's what it's all about this week. Mentally locking in, sense of urgency, finding the things that have brought this program, to where it is. It's not like it's lost or it's gone by any means, but a hiccup, a bump in the road, and that's a 39-game winning streak snapped against Southern Illinois. So we'll start another one. Ironically enough,
Same team.
The last time the long streak was snapped in 2014. The next week, the Bison went to Springfield and won 45-10. That'd be a nice little start this weekend.
They would take 10-9. Any win this weekend. Any changes for NDSU? Do you see them getting away from anything they were doing?
Nope. I don't think anything personnel-wise. You might see some guys maybe shuffle around at some different spots, potentially along the offensive and defensive lines, with trying to find the right mix there, but nothing's changing. Okay. There's no reason to change anything. I think, again, going back to what we've heard Matt Entz say, there's only 9 seniors on this team. That's it. Only 9. And so the roster, with the pause in the fall and life continuing on and guys transferring, opting out, going to the NFL, moving on to live their lives, the roster has been affected, and we are relying on younger players. I think we've got 28 redshirt freshmen, 29 true freshmen on the roster, and that's the overwhelming majority of our football team right now. So there haven't been many guys that have lost a game. So human nature, it begins to sink in that, we just kind of walk out there every week and we win games.
We're just not going to lose.
It's just never going to happen ever again, and that's not real life. That's not sports, and sometimes it takes you to get kind of smacked around a little bit to realize that, all right, we got to get back to being who we are, and I think that's what this week's been all about.
Missouri State come from behind win against Western Illinois last week, showing some good fight with the second half comeback, overcoming turnovers. What's the identity for Missouri State? Is this defensive team? Is this offensive team? What do they got?
I think the strength of it right now is their defense, but I think the identity is Bobby Petrino, their new head coach. I mean, here's a guy that everybody knows. You say his name, big name. He's been at Louisville 2 stints, took Arkansas to their best, highest levels of achievement with their program probably in the last 20 years or so, spent a year in the NFL with the Atlanta Falcons. So Bobby Petrino can coach, and you look at their roster up and down, and they've got a lot of new faces. 6 transfers starting on the defensive side, 3 on the offensive side, plus plenty of backups. So he's trying to flip the roster. They, at the end of the Dave Steckel era, Missouri State wasn't very good, wasn't very competitive. They're going through their toughest stretch as far as lack of success. To go back to the Don Cross era from 1969 to 1975. So, yeah, and so you have to make a lot of changes. That's what he's doing. And so you're going to see a lot of new faces out there, and they're trying to obviously increase the talent level and the belief that they can win games and turning that program around.
Well, we will find out on Saturday as the no longer number 1 NDSU Bison.
I thought you were going to ask the notable
famous alumni? Okay.
John Goodman, of course, the great John Goodman. How about Kathleen Turner? I'm sure you've stayed in the hotel run by John Q. Hammonds before at some point in time. Come on, I'm hot with these right now. Jackie Stiles, Hall of Famer, women's basketball player.
I got you thinking last week, didn't I?
Well, right. I had the time. Walt Frazier and the other Dippin' Dots guy at SIU, Macho Man Randy Savage was a good one.
That didn't do us a bit of good last week.
Help.
So we're moving on to Missouri State. 2 o'clock kickoff this weekend. Be listening to Jeff Culhane and the entire crew. Thanks for watching Behind the Bison, brought to you by westfargoevents.com. Well.